3, 2, 1.
Talk to me.
Okay.
TEDxBellsTech University. Good afternoon. My name is John. Well, when they reached out to me to talk for this event, I didn't exactly know how to fashion this with the topic Idiosyncrasy, because for me, Idiosyncrasy is architecture, in the sense that in the School of Architecture, if 50 of us are given the same brief, we cannot all come out with the same design. So I'm going to be running you through what it is to think like an architect, to run like an architect, to walk like an architect, to act like an architect. Now, in my slides, I prepared who an architect is. An architect is someone who conceives an idea, and to conceive an idea means for me, to play with the idea. Anyone who knows me knows I love to play. I play with people, play with things, play with my car, my dog, anything I play with it. That's the way I conceive ideas. And then I build up on it. I build up on my ideas by playing until I get a solution to it. Well, Ayo spoke here. Ayo is my very good friend. We work out together. And when we are caught up with issues, we work out. Workout is also play for me. So I play with it, play until we break out. Now, for solving problems, because for me, life would always throw difficult situations and problems at you. For solving problems, you need to understand the problem and understand the kind of people that you need on your team. And what do I mean? I'm an architect who specializes in sustainable building materials. So if I'm given a job with contemporary building materials, it doesn't mean I'm not going to accept it. But I need people on my team who are more of contemporary than sustainable. Are we together? So that's what I call people management. When I got here today, I saw Unsudo. Unsudo was a very good guy, President Busa, and all of that. You know, I saw Zeno as well. I told him when he's going to carry me along. I heard he's a pilot, so in case you want to board, I'm selling the ticket. To continue with that, we must be able to conceive ideas. Conceive the ideas, go with the flow, and bring people together. For me, So it says, conceive your idea, play with it until you can visualize it. To visualize the idea means to bring it into existence. The job of an architect is to have a brief. A brief is what the client wants. Then we visualize it. What exactly is this person saying? How would this place look like? This hall we are seated, the ground is somehow straight. Then up there we see that it has a raked structure. Someone thought about it. It was an idea that someone thought about, someone conceived, someone played with it until they could visualize it, and then the person knew their skill. So for each and every person in this hall, I believe that we are built with different skills. I have the skill to manage people. Someone might have the skill to do the work. There's a lady who is here who has the skills to motivate people. She abuses me a lot, and I just saw her now. So she abuses me until I do what it is that I have to do. Now, it says get like minds. For every project that we want to embark on, the best way to go about it is to get people who think in the same direction. If I want to design a building, I don't go and call someone who knows nothing about a building. Are we together? So we need to get like minds in whatever it is that we are doing. Now, another thing we do is go. Go. You might not be able to fully conceptualize the idea, but go. The major thing that stops people from achieving what it is that they want to achieve is their inability to make the move. We're analyzing how will this thing be, market strategy, this other thing. I wrote there, too much analysis hinders us from doing anything. And last in this slide is marry an architect. marry an architect. Architects are solution providers. Be you a woman, be you a man, marry an architect. By the way, if you want to marry, you can meet my sister. She will collect my groom prize on my behalf. Here. Next slide, please. Yes, so we must be able to create our own style and be comfortable in our own skin. The society we find ourselves in, everybody wants to pour out themselves into you. Don't do this, do this. This person did this and this is the result that they got. So each person must be comfortable in their own skin. This is who I am. Not in a bad light, shall. But this is who I am. This is what it is that I want to do. It says how you walk, how you think, how you talk. You must be comfortable in your own skin. And that is the best way to be able to harness your skills is you being comfortable in your own skin. As scripture puts it, it says, a man's skills maketh way for him. It places him before great men, as the case may be. So each person must be able to harness their skill by being comfortable in it. Because Zeno is a pilot doesn't mean that I'm going to be a pilot. I have to be comfortable being an architect, designing buildings. Even in the architecture, I need to be comfortable using sustainable building materials. Because I do not believe that everybody must use cement for their buildings. Are we together? So we all must be comfortable in our... I just saw... what's his name? Fola did some designs for me, and I really loved it. When he was doing the design, I would come in, I just brush in and look, and I saw that this guy was really comfortable in his own skin. One thing he didn't know was that seeing him do that, when I went back to design houses, I was more comfortable in my own skin because I'd seen someone who was comfortable in their own skin. Next slide, please. Yes. Another thing is we must always question the status quo. Anyone who has worked with me for a period of time knows that I have a problem with working with the crowd. My question is always, why do I have to go with you? They say we should do this, why? They say we should, why? You know this fella song, Zombie oh Zombie, they say we should do this, everybody runs with the crowd. Everybody runs, nobody questions why it is that we are doing this thing. And I wrote here, everyone is already doing the same thing. Why add to the number? Everybody would leave school, look for a job, do this, do that, do this. Why do you have to follow the crowd? You must be able to create a niche for yourself. Now, the way I believe we create a niche for ourselves is by identifying the gaps. One of my mentors told me something. He said, when you identify the gap in a particular issue, that is your responsibility. For you to be able to identify the gap, it shows that you have a sight for something. Now, when you see the gap, do not run away from the gap. Accept it, embrace it, and take it up as your responsibility. Most of us find ourselves in situations where once there's a gap, the next thing is to japa. There's a gap in this place. Everybody wants to run away from it. Now, my question is, how then can we become prosperous people if we do not solve gaps? The best way to make it anywhere is to identify a gap and solve the gap. Once you can solve the gap, people will begin to come to you. There's a gap in this place. You identified it. Everybody identifies the gap. But not everybody solves the gap. Immediately you solve the problem, which is most likely a human need, most people will gravitate themselves towards you. Please, can you help me do this thing, this thing, this thing, do this thing, this thing, this thing. And the trick about business is, when people solve human needs, you can monetize it. Unsudo has a problem. I know the solution to the problem. Unsudo brings to me his problem, and I charge him to solve his problem. That is what we do in business. A client wants to design a house, but the client does not have the skill set to design a house. I, as an architect, have that skill set to design the house. So when the client comes to me, what I do is I charge them for the skills that I have. I've been able to identify a gap. Everybody must be able to identify a gap. And the thing about it is, Once you identify a gap, be ready to do whatever it takes to solve it. The next slide, please. Yes, now the most difficult thing about identifying a gap is solving it. Now, I wrote here, as you have your plans, God also has his plan for you. In my really short life, I've been a model. I've sold swept kits, I've sold dungarees, I've sold glasses, I've sold contact lens, before I came to Bells. Then I was a business development manager for an architecture firm. What happened was this. They employed John to be an architect. And everybody is saying this, John is saying this. Everybody is doing this, John is doing the other thing. And the manager of the firm knew that you can't sack me because I'm good with architecture. But then you need to look for a place to keep me. And he said, this guy is a good business guy. He made me business development manager. So I acted as both the architect of the firm and the business development manager of the firm. Now, I also found myself doing masters, After BSc, we were doing masters, and they said to become an architect, you must do masters. That one, I had to follow the status quo so that I can get my own degree and practice as an architect. Now, here again, after my masters, I told myself something funny. I said I was never going to read anything again. Signboard, sticker, because it was really hectic for me. Fun fact, I'm a lecturer today. Reading every day. So, in as much as you have your own plans, God also has his own plans for you. And yes, fun fact as well. An offer came to buy a gym on campus. And somebody told my friend that the gym was out for sale. And my friend told me, as an architecture student, I was saving up to buy my laptop. And when I heard they want to sell a gym, I don't know what it entails to own a gym. I didn't know anything. Guess what I did? I used my money for laptop to buy the gym. So, as we grow, we must be ready to take risk. Sometimes, the risk that we take will land us in places that we do not know anything about. Another thing was when I bought the gym, I didn't know that the person who was going to sell the gym was owing a huge sum of money, which means that the business itself was owing a huge sum of money. When I bought it, then I went to do regularization. Then they said, this business is owing so, and so. First, I don't use my money for laptop, buy gym. Exam, they come. Now the business is owing money. So, from an architectural point of view, what I did was what we do call PP, personal practice. Immediately, I thought, okay, I'm in big soup. What I did was I let myself out. Before, I didn't used to practice while I was in school. But immediately that happened, I started practicing as an architect. So that I could save up money to pay for the gym, to buy my laptop, and to do other things. Because at home, they didn't know. My sister is here, she on me. They didn't know that I used my money for laptop to buy the gym. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yes, you must be a different person. One thing I love is people being different. You don't have to be like everybody. You were not made like them. Everybody wants to do this because they are making money from social media. Everybody now wants to run social media marketing. They are making money from this. Everybody is running to this. Everybody is running to this. Everybody is running to this. We must embrace being different. Our society might not accept it. And most especially, we must know this. When you are a different person, you'll be tagged as a proud person. When you are a different person, you'll be tagged as I too know. You are a different person, you'll be tagged as, I can't work with this guy. This thing. But here is what happens. When you are different long enough, and you stay consistent being different, people begin to come to you and ask, how did you do it? How were you able to overcome the pressure that came from everybody in the society? Now, in the field of architecture, Like I said earlier, even when you are giving a brief, if I were to be a lecturer of this class and I give this whole class a brief, no matter how much the students are in the class, 2 students cannot come out with the same design. So everyone must think differently, approach the solution differently, and we must embrace that. That's what we are taught in the School of Architecture, and I believe that is what should apply everywhere. With every field, you must be able to embrace whatever it is that God has given you. My own perception of man is that for God to make us, He gave us gifts. And the situations that we face in life helps bring out the gifts in us. There are cases where if I didn't fall into big soup, I wouldn't have known that I had some certain skills. When I was in school, I used to run into trouble a lot because I was a very, not stubborn, but I was a very beautiful child. So I used to run into trouble a lot. And when you run into trouble, you have to come out of that trouble. That was when I knew that I could talk to people and convince them. Meaning I would do something and then I will come again. I did it too. I will come and negotiate with you, okay, this that I did, this. And instead of giving me the full punishment, it will be reduced. I noticed it started happening consistently. From my 100 level, 200, 300, 400, even when I finished my master's. Last year, the business that we own ran into debt. We had a client who thought that he overpaid us. In his own term, he overpaid us, of which we gave a bill of quantity and he signed that this is what he's going to be paying us. But I believe that he spoke to some other people and from his perspective, he overpaid us. So before we could say anything, blah, 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 I noticed that my partner was arrested. My partner had to sell his car. The business was going down. Everything was, and in the police station, we were just looking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I thank God that that's happened because that gave us, it opened us to a new skill of being able to negotiate through difficult terrains. We're able to negotiate with the client, negotiate with everybody, and we're able to come out of this. So what I'm going to drop here today is we must embrace our differences. You are a different person. You must embrace it. From the way you think, from the way you talk, from the way you walk, and from the way you act. You must embrace that you are a different person and you must learn to live with it. Thank you.